Did you know that you can switch your Specialized Gen 3 Levo from a Class 1 e-bike to a Class 3 e-bike that can go 28 miles an hour or 45 kilometers per hour? In this video, I'm going to show you how to do it and talk to you about the 5 safety features that they put in so this feature is not abused. All right, so 2 parts to this video, maybe 3 parts. First part is I'm going to show you exactly how to do it, and then I'm going to show you the 5 safety features that they put in so it's not abused. And but the one of them, there's something going on with it. Well, I can't seem to get it to work. So, and then the last part is we'll talk about the ethics, kind of the repercussions of a feature like this, where you can switch a mountain bike to a Class 3 e-bike. All right. So first and foremost, let's get into the configuration screen. What you do is you push the joystick up as if you're going into boost mode, and you hit the S button on the bottom at the same time. After 3 seconds, it's going to go to your settings, language, pair sensors, motor tune, and the fourth one is rider speed limit. So it is defaulted to 20 miles an hour. And this feature is really just available in the USA, not in Europe. And what you want to do is toggle down and hit the center button to go 28 miles an hour. Okay? And right here, you see one of the 5 kind of the safety implementations that they put in. So this feature is not abused. So they give you a warning screen, a disclaimer that you really have to, accept and get beyond. It says, warning, proceed at your own risk. Always follow applicable rules and ride within your capabilities. So this is what they're saying is if your trail system only allows Class 1, then it's your responsibility to abide by it. But if you're on the road, if you're on private property, you're good to go. So the next one is kind of interesting, is whenever your bike is paused, it is just going to display a kind of a wallpaper screen that says, hey, I'm a Class 3 e-bike and you can't see your data. So every time you stop, you're reminded that, hey, I'm in Class 3 mode, I should get out of it. The third feature that they put in is every time that you turn off and on your bike, it's going to default to Class 1. So this thing is not sticky. It's not, you have to do it every time, this rigmarole that I'm going through, if you want to use this. Okay? So that's the third feature. It's an every time kind of action that you have to actively take to put it in Class 3 mode. The fourth one is a little subtle, is let's say you're riding along and you want to switch it. You cannot switch it. You have to stop. It cannot be used in motion, not like most other e-bikes out there that offer a switchable. You have to stop, interrupt your riding. And even though this is hard to do to one-handed anyway, even if you could, you can't do it. You can't select 28 miles an hour. So that's 4 features. And the final kind of safety catch that they put in is when you're in Class 3 mode, they tell you that, hey, it's 28 miles an hour, but I'm only going to give you half my power, only 350 watts of available power. So, it's not a place you want to be in. So this one is a little bit strange to me because I don't observe it. I'm having a hard time observing it. When I just use my battery extender and no main battery, it just puts it at 350 watt mode, and I can definitely feel it. You like get half your power, because when you're over 20 miles an hour, that's when you need the most all your watts. Is when your speed is determined by your watts. In my experience, I'm not seeing that they're cutting down the power to 350 watts. Maybe a little bit, but I'm not seeing it at all. Let me know in the comments what you guys are observing. Okay? All right, the last part of this video, let's go through some of the ethics, the social repercussions of a feature like this, where you could turn a Class 1 bike into a Class 3 bike, because this is the first mountain bike that is allowing you to do that. Now, they put in these 5 safety installs. Obviously, they are concerned about the repercussions of it, so they give you kind of safeguards. They give you these safeguards. All right, why did they put this feature on? The reason is primarily for commuting. You are, riding from your house or from somewhere to the trailhead. You're on flat paved ground. The 20 mile an hour speed limit comes on very quickly. When it's flat, it only takes 200 watts to get to that speed and maintain that speed. Maybe less than that. Okay, so if you have so much power in your legs and in the motor, but you're hitting that wall all the time, from here you have a 10-mile commute, less car trips to the trailhead. You're always hitting it. And it's actually safer when you are going faster, when you're flowing with traffic. The less the speed differential between you and traffic, the easier it is to merge into traffic, and it's actually safer. The other is you just save so much time when you are taking less car trips. All commuter e-bikes, have they go to 28 miles an hour, and so this is attempting to give you some of that feature in this space. All right, what about the repercussions? What is going on? What do I think is going to happen? So I've been using this feature here and there, and really in the trail, I ride a lot in Santa Cruz, Pacifica, and some here in the Bay Area. And really, I only use it like 5-10% of the time. It's really when I'm commuting to the trailheads. There's like 4 trails I can commute to the house where I could really use the commute speed of 28 miles an hour. When I'm in Santa Cruz, really there are almost no situations where this feature makes any difference at all. Because when you're in single track, you're just simply not going that fast. When you're climbing, and this is the biggest misnomer that people don't understand, is when you're climbing, you don't use this feature. You cannot climb over 20 miles an hour. There's no hill like that. It would need to be a 1% grade. Most climbs are 5% grade. You're only going 8, 12 miles an hour with an e-bike. So this does not affect that at all. You're not going to blow past people just because you have 28 miles an hour. The motors simply are not capable of doing that, no matter how strong you are. So it's a non-factor there, but I think that's the biggest misconception that people have about this feature. So what do I think is going to happen? I think it's already been 3-4 months. There was so much kind of negative publicity about this when it first started, and really, we're going to get shut down. You're going to get all bikes banned. Nothing has happened. Nothing has happened. If you know of a situation where a trail got shut down because of this feature, please let me know. It's not doing what people fear it's going to do. It's very similar to what I heard when e-bikes first got introduced. For the last 7 years, I've been fighting for the rights of e-bikes, and I've heard hundreds and hundreds of times, your e-bike is going to get all bikes banned, all mountain bikes banned on our trails. And I've been doing a lot of research on this. A number of trails that have been shut down because of e-bikes to all bikes is 0. It just doesn't happen. There's always fear and paranoia detached from reality. So I don't think there's going to be an issue, especially because of the nature of the 28 miles an hour. It's only relevant when you are on flat or descending, okay? Descending a very slight grade. When it's a very steep grade, you're going fast anyway. You're going 40 miles an hour anyway, even without a motor, okay? So where it is a potential problem, it can start a pissing contest between some companies. If this bike has this feature and another bike that's almost identical doesn't have the feature, a buyer would gravitate towards it. So it is a competitive advantage, that's for sure. And all these guys using the Bosch CX-5 motor, they're pretty upset. They're pretty upset because that they don't have the feature. They don't control this. Bosch is not going to give it to them. Theoretically, Bosch could do it, but they're German. They're just not going to play in that realm. So all the other manufacturers, they feel slighted by this move, the flexibility of Specialized to be able to do this feature. So they're not happy. But, there could be another company, Bafang, DJI, could say, hey, we're going 28. That's class 3. That's allowed. That's classified as an e-bike. We're going 28. No restrictions. Just press this button, and you're good to go. And it will stay there until you switch it back. So if that happens, then that becomes like a tit for tat pissing contest. And now all the safety precautions that this bike has taken are gone. And it's not beyond imagination that can happen. It could start a little kind of a power war, a class 3 war between companies. So hopefully that won't happen. But they've definitely opened the kind of the opening shot in this arena. So it is controversial at best. But as far as me using it and my friends using it, they're like, okay, great for commuting. That's about it. So let me know in the comments how you feel about this feature. Does it make you stay away from Specialized? Does it make you buy the Gen 4 Levo? How has it affected your decision-making process? And what do you think is going to happen to trail access because a bike like this exists? Thank you very much.